everyone, and welcome back to the Madeline Makes Bake Off Kitchen. This week is a big week typically in the Bake Off tent, and it certainly is in my kitchen. It is pastry week. I'm genuinely feeling a bit nervous about this particular challenge. So this is week 8, which is so hard to believe, of the Bake Off challenge. And as you can see, I have a wide array of ingredients next to me. As an overview for what the bakers in the tent were tasked with making this week. For the signature challenge, the bakers were tasked with making a savory tartatin. It's a French thing. For the technical challenge, they were to make a Moroccan pie, and for the showstopper, a vertical pie, which is one of those challenges you would only see on Bake Off. So this week, I decided to take on the technical challenge, which is the Moroccan pie. This was also my first choice as what I was going to make for this week, because I think it's such a unique bake, and this is, again, one of those things I would not have otherwise attempted to make if not for this challenge. And this recipe, I think, is the first savory challenge that we've undertaken, but it handles some flavors that I'm both familiar and unfamiliar with. I had to go hunting for some ingredients, and that's always exciting to kind of build my pantry. But I've also enjoyed Middle Eastern African cuisine in that it combines sweet with spices, and that's really exciting. I knew I wanted to try this, really expand my culinary technique, but also really build on flavor profiles that I don't normally get to try out. So anyway, I'm gonna start with doing my mise en place, which basically, I think it's French, it means all in its place, something like that. There are a lot of ingredients in this recipe, which is so exciting to see, but there's a lot of prep. So I'm gonna start by chopping everything, measuring everything, so that way we can effectively put things together. This is honestly one of the first recipes I'm seeing where I'm really noticing the difficulty level increasing for these bakers. Obviously, the bakes I've made up to this point have gotten a bit more challenging, but I haven't been meeting where the bakers are. You get to a point in the series where the judges go, it's good, but at this stage in the competition, we're expecting better. I think that would have been my criticism over the past few bakes is, it's good, but at this point, we're expecting better. And this is where I can kind of see they're saying, okay, bakers, be better, because this is a challenge. As usual, I will be doing the gluten-free twist on this. That's always what makes me a bit nervous, because you don't know how things are gonna turn out when you attempt to do a gluten-free style. And unlike normal challenges, we're filming this on a weekday, so this is our dinner. So I hope this turns out, or else we'll have to order a pizza or something. So now I'm gonna make my brick pastry. I'm using, once again, my homemade gluten-free flour blend. I've had a lot of great experiences with this blend so far. I've made quite a few things. I've made pancakes, I've made waffle, I made a cake. I've made quite a few things with this blend, and I'm really liking it. So I have high hopes for this. Now, this recipe also calls for semolina flour. However, semolina is also wheat, or at least it's like wheat is a part of its process. So I will be using cornmeal instead. Based on the research, it's pretty comparable for things where it's not like the main flour. So this is only a couple of tablespoons. I have a feeling it's for texture, so that's what I'll be using it for. I'm just gonna put these on a roasting tray. I'm gonna put the salt and the Ras El Hanout with some olive oil on top. Very basic. It'll roast in the oven for about 20 minutes. Oh, and this is boiling now. I feel like it should be more golden brown, but I also think that that might be the color of my own flour. It says it should be as thin as phyllo pastry, and I think it is in some parts of the dough, and other parts not so much. Look at that! This is neat. This is something I would never have made otherwise. Look at that! I'm gonna say that every single time, because I am impressed with myself every single time. Okay, so my veg is finished. Let's check on that. Root veg, sorry. All right, at long last, we are finished with these. This is the part of the bake I was most worried about, and I think these are pretty successful. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. So while this has been going on, because this took a long time, I prepared the other part of the filling. So I'm gonna pour this onto this. while this cools down, I'm gonna start the preliminary stages of putting this together. So it's supposed to hang over the edge like that. Finally, we fill our pie. There's a lot of filling. But I think I'm gonna place this like that. Okay, here's my weird pie. Now we're gonna place this on a baking sheet. I'm gonna bake it, finally, for like 35 minutes, it says. So we're gonna do that. Wow, that looks impressive. That looks pretty cool. I think my, this is meant to be a bit more cloth-like, but again, I think probably the gluten-free dryness has something to do with that. I think I may have overcooked them. I just want to eat them. It looks like crinkly. All right, so 5 minutes has passed, and now I'm gonna take this out of the springform pan. I can understand why this is so stressful because the instructions say when it's cooked through. How am I supposed to know that? So it could all go wrong. Oh my gosh. Oh, we've got a little bit of a leak, but that's the only spot. This is impressive looking. It looks like a crown. This might be the most impressive savory thing I've ever made. Oh my gosh. How are you supposed to cut this? How am I supposed to serve it? So this is my slice, if you would call it. I'm genuinely not sure how you would otherwise serve that. Oh, gosh, this is an embarrassing mess. But this is my slice here. Got all the filling and I've got this, that's nice and crisp. I'm actually gonna just try a bit of the top because this looks really yummy. So toasty, so crispy. Wow, do you hear that? That's yummy. It's not bursting with flavor, but that crunch and that texture is so satisfying. Excuse me, I have to yell at my cat. Hey! Okay, so I got like a tiny little bite here. The flavor. Oh, it's spicy. Oh my gosh. So flavorful. It's like spicy, but like I actually mean there are spices here. Not like it's hot, I can't taste anything. The chicken is tender. That's good. So I definitely get the sweet potato. Sweet potato is something I've recently learned to like, so maybe that's why. The main thing I'm getting is that harissa, which is the spice at the back of my throat. It's not overwhelming my palate, but it's definitely present. I'm getting the sweetness of all the different root vegetable, that like just natural sweetness, not artificial in any way. That pomegranate molasses, I think, is what's bringing us some tartness to this. And I looked at the ingredients, it's just super concentrated pomegranate juice. It looks like it's pomegranate juice and sugar and it's just cooked down. And so all you get is that just like really tart pomegranate flavor. That floralness is really present here. It's just this wonderful amalgamation of different textures. You have the soft from the vegetables, the moist from the chicken, and then that crunchiness from the pastry itself. But then we also have this wonderful amalgamation of flavors. We have cinnamon in here, we have pomegranate, we have harissa, we have all these spices. This is why I took on this challenge, because I don't think there is an aspect of this that is normal in my everyday cooking. I've used these ingredients separately. I cook chicken, I love chickpeas, I like butternut squash, but to cook them together in this way with this pastry, it's completely unique to me, and I'm so glad I gave this a try. I learned a lot, and I want to use this texture of pastry in something else. I might make a spinach pie out of this because I've yet to find good gluten-free phyllo pastry, and I think this could substitute that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week is the semi-final of this series. The challenges are getting harder. I'm having to put more of a creative foot forward, so I hope you'll join me next week for Patisserie Week, which is notoriously tricky. I'm gonna try to get out my dainty little French patisserie fingers. I'm not known for being delicate, so we'll see. But I really enjoyed this pastry week. Hope you did too. If you did, give this video a like. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite type of cuisine is, or a cuisine that you would like to try that you're not very familiar with. I'd love to learn more about it. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, or if you've enjoyed this series thus far. We've really enjoyed making it, and now I'm gonna eat because it is after 9 o'clock and this is my dinner. I have to go to work tomorrow. That's why we do this on the weekend. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Where did my spice mixture go? I added the wrong spices at the wrong step. This was supposed to go on. Okay, so I take it back. We're gonna switch this around.